With acrylics, you can get so many additives, which you obviously add to acrylics. I'm going to start with a heavy body gel or impasto gel. You can just touch into the texture gel, but you mix it with colour. Now it's white there, but when it dries clear. So you add your colour to the gel, and when you paint with it, you can see every brushstroke in 3D. So add some blue, this is ultramarine, and just paint it on very, very thickly, and you can see the brush strokes. Put some white into that. If you're painting some sea or some waves, some green, and you get this lovely texture. You can also apply this heavy body texture with a palette knife. So mix your colour up with your knife, and we just layer this onto the surface. This is watercolour paper. Put some burnt umber into the blue. Just trowel it on like that. Some white with some raw sienna. Mix that into the gel. And we have some 3D rocks. Now the problem with these gels, they actually extend the drying time for your paints. So you just allow extra time for them to actually dry off. This is a good example of impasto painting. It's a mountain scene painted with a palette knife, and the opportunities for texture are just fabulous. Another interesting additive to glaze medium is, this is black lava texture gel. Thick and gloopy. Paint it onto your surface, so you can move it around because it's a texture gel. Just scrape out bits like that. So lots of possibilities. This is another interesting texture gel. These are very small glass beads. You hear them crunching away. Just mix it up a bit. Again, just paint that onto your surface. And again, let that dry off. Now, once the texture gel has dried, it takes forever to dry, but it's gone off now. So what you can do is you can paint over the top of the texture just with some raw sienna. So it's quite a watery wash. You can still see the beads underneath. So if you're painting a beach scene, or you can mix the colour with some white to make it more opaque. So it's great for doing maybe a beach, maybe some texture on an old Provençal wall. Paint all sorts of different colours onto there, then let it dry. So moving on to the glass beads, you can start with maybe a touch of cobalt blue, water it down, a bit of hooker's green. You get this very bubbly froth into there. And again, use some white paint with some blue, overpaint. Make this just a little bit darker. And if we allow this to dry, we can then add some more texture on top of the dried surface. Use some white paint, fairly thick, not too watery. And if you lightly brush the white over the texture, it just sticks on the raised bits of the beads. Yeah, that's very simple, isn't it? This is a very dramatic painting, lots of action, but also lots of detail. I've used the glass bead texture paste for the surf as it crashes in on this huge wave, and there's lots of action here, but you just feel it. You feel the texture. It's a great way of painting. Another additive is glaze medium. Now, a lot of people ask me, what do I use glaze medium for? Comes straight out of the tube, it looks white, but when it dries clear. And so what I'm going to do with this bluebell wood, I'm going to put some shafts of light coming through the trees, and I'm going to use some glaze medium, put that onto some white paper, like that. Then a touch of blue, and some white. Now the white will make it more opaque. So the glaze medium waters down the white and makes it more transparent. Now to help me, I'm going to use a piece of paper. Now, here we go. Try it out first. Yeah, that's okay, just a touch more white. And here we go. So using the piece of paper as a guide, bring that through like that. Take that away, just soften that a little bit. Just streak that, and on this dark area here, just have that coming in front of the main tree. Just soften that a little bit more. So here we have the finished painting. So as you can see, you've got these shafts of milky sunlight coming through the trees. As the glaze medium dries, it becomes clear and you can see the detail underneath. I'm going to paint a very simple doorway, but I'm going to use some glaze medium and some additives. And the additives are going to be things like sawdust and eggshells to add some extra texture to the painting. So this is almost going to be like a 3D painting. We start with a canvas. The drawing is done with a 2B pencil, just sketched onto the white canvas. And we're going to start with some glaze medium. I'm going to actually paint this straight onto the canvas from the tube. So just put that on like that. So put that onto the wall, onto the top. Then, using some eggshells, so obviously just put the eggshells into a bag and crush them, and then you sprinkle them onto the painting. Like that. And just work them into the wall. Just push those across. So just coat them with the glaze medium, and the glaze medium, when it dries, acts like a glue. This is a climbing rose on this side, and again I'm going to use the same technique. So paint this on first, just lots of texture, and over the top of the eggshells I'm going to use some sawdust and just sprinkle that onto the painting. Glaze medium, and just work that in like that. So just push it around, and on the foreground I'm going to use some black lava paste And again, just paint that on. So we've got some gravel on the road. Wash the brush out. Then with some texture gel and a palette knife, put some of the texture paste onto the door, like that. So it's like spreading butter. Then with the end of the knife, drag that down. So we get some planks like that. And on the steps, again, some texture paste. Texture paste on the lintel. Tidy up my brickwork. There we go. Next stage is to let it dry. Take a while to dry. You might have to use a hairdryer to speed things up, but be patient and just let it dry.